Satnam. This is Capricorn for the cycle of the goddess that you are. Today, I would like to share with you how to work with the energy of this new moon that is produced on the 17th January at 2:17 Universal Time Frame. You may know that from 8 hours before this full moon, this new moon happens, till 8 hours after, this would be the ideal time for you to plant your intentions of growth for the coming month, 6 months and 30 years. I'm going to explain that. This new moon is opening a moon period until the full moon on the 31st January. That is going to be coinciding with the total moon eclipse that is talking about how are you aligning with your destiny, with your life mission, because it's produced and is coinciding not by chance. It is astrologically completely logic, but not to get extended. I will just say coinciding with the nodes, with the Rahu Ketu and Rahu, the nodes of karma, the moon nodes that are talking to each of us about what is the purpose of our life. But about this energy, I will speak in my next video on the full moon on the 31st January. But this new moon, we are preparing and we are working forward, establishing the surrounding and the environment for this work that will be complemented by the 31 January. We are also opening a period of 6 months until the full moon in Capricorn, where we will be working on building the structures that will support us and that will help us develop the purpose of our life and the purpose of our 30 coming years. This has to do a lot with the fact of Saturn, that is the regent of Capricorn, having entered Capricorn on the 20th December, and this being the first new moon, the first moment of planting our intentions of growth in Capricorn. So that means, or this particular fact means that Saturn takes 30 years to complete one round around the whole horoscope. So it will be in another 30 years that Saturn will be entering Capricorn again. So we're starting a new cycle of manifestation that lasts 30 years. Saturn, it's very much like Athena. That's why I'm proposing you to work with the archetype of Athena to understand the whole setting of the energy of the moon and the rest of the planets in this moment. Saturn will last 3 years in Capricorn. These coming 3 years are going to be very hard because Pluto is also there. Pluto has been working in Capricorn really for a while. I think as a whole it stays as 10 years in Capricorn. And it's been working on demolishing the structures, our mental structures, our patterns, our beliefs that were supporting and holding the world as we knew it the 30 last years. In the coming 3 years, starting this year, each of us will be first demolishing and then building up again its own structures, not only inner structures but also the outer world, for the 30 coming years. The 30 years of manifestation of all the structures, of all the plans, of all the intentions for growth, development and success that Capricorn is setting in this moment. So this is what we're working with this moon, and it's quite interesting and quite important. For this reason, I'm proposing you to work with goddess Athena. That is, as you may remember from the myth, Athena was born from the head of his father, Zeus. Zeus was the king of all the Olympic gods, and he was a rather abusive and bully guy. He was raping goddesses and women, he was abusing power everywhere, but even he cheated Athena's mother. Metis, the mother, was an Atlantide. She was tricked by Zeus, so she became very small. He swallowed her, and so when she was pregnant with Athena, so that Athena was born straight away from the head of Zeus. Zeus had a huge headache and asked Volcano to open his head with a hammer, so that from it, completely grown up as an adult, appeared Athena. So Athena was never a child, and Athena was born straight away from the head of her father. This is bringing to us this ability of strategic logic thinking that Athena has. She's born straight away from the head. She's not been a child. She's not contacted with the heart, with this area of the number 4. And so I'm using Athena as a starting point to develop and to understand all what has to do with number 4. That is election, consciousness, freedom, the doubt. When we are exerting our freedom, we may have doubts. And also trust as a way of counteracting the doubt. And number 4 is also bringing for us the consciousness of community. It's making me think of the others, not only on myself. So as all these concepts develop to number 4, and all what the intelligence of number 4, I'm talking about Karamkriya, it's pretty extensive, very, very wide and difficult to handle. I'm proposing Athena as a starting point to start to work with that. And this energy of Athena is really corresponding with what the planets in the moment, in this new moon in Capricorn, are establishing. Athena is presenting to you this personal responsibility, the not interested or selfish service, that is Seva, is presenting to you this patriarchal energy of success. So the challenge in here is that we have Uranus, and Uranus is challenging this Athena not to be so comfortable there. Uranus is really number 4, and Uranus is presenting the surprises or what was unexpected. And in the moment, we are having all this energy of all these planets that are, most of them in Capricorn, making a quadrangle with Uranus in Aries. And this Uranus is also doing 150 degrees, that is a quincuncio, we say in Spanish, with Jupiter and Mars in Scorpio. And these Jupiter and Mars are doing a very beneficial 60 degrees angles with all the moon, the sun, and the rest of the planets in Capricorn. So I'm going to explain that and develop it, contacting with the myth of Athena, so to help us understand and then get to a motto, get to a complete one sentence, so that we can work with that for the maximum benefit of your planting of these intentions of growth for the month, for the 6 months, and for the coming 30 years. So, as we've seen, Athena is this very strategic, logic thinker that is warning all the heroes, the male heroes in the myths of the classic Greek mythology, to achieve their success. So she's working selflessly to help all the heroes. She helped Odysseus, she helped Perseus, she helped Achilles, she helped everyone. All the male heroes in the classic Greek mythology were benefited by the warnings and the advice of Athena. And Athena is working selflessly there because she's really relating and very much associating herself in relation to this male energy of the alpha male, this leading male. So as a woman, it could be represented as the perfect executive secretary that is helping as a second on board the leader to achieve the company goals or his personal goals. She would be doing whatever, from getting the phone calls to ironing his shirt to really handling the agenda, planifying even the speeches he delivers publicly, because she is very wise, very clever, very much able to make a careful planification of what has to be developed, and to work steadily and very consciously to achieve that. And I say the word conscious, that it may be a bit shocking, considering the myth, because this is what you are invited to do, to bring your consciousness to this, so that you make sure that the path feels as good as the goal. When we are talking about developing and setting the planning, the strategy for the coming years to build that structure that is going to lead you to your own definition of success. First of all, we are talking about your own definition of success. If you've been working with my previous videos, by the end of 2017, there were moments in which the moon was really inviting us to define, I think it was the last full moon in December. The moon was inviting us to define what was our definition of success, so that we are not following the patriarchal, male, Piscean structures, because we are entering complete another era on this 31 January, and this is happening, and it's going to happen. So it is very important that we are working according to our own definition of success and not following somebody else's definition. And also, this moon, we're invited to make sure that we are following the path of the heart, that is, setting this action and this planified action, the whole strategy that you are setting in this new moon, and in the coming 3 weeks, that we have really an energy beautifully preparing and helping us to go forward, because we have all the planets going forward, and this is very much a let's go for it energy, and I encourage you to use it, but use it in a path that you know it's according to your heart. And this is what I mean with conscious. The goal has to feel as good, as significant, as heart-feeling as the process. You cannot be killing yourself working towards a goal so that when you achieve the goal you'll be happy. No, this cannot be so. This is not what we are talking about. We are talking about planifying carefully the strategy so that you can make the consistent, sustained effort to work daily towards that goal. And this has to feel super nice, that although it's work, it's an effort, it doesn't feel like sacrifice. You are not killing yourself, all the way around. You are working with your potential and going forward beyond this, what you thought, the success, the concept of success that you thought that was achievable, possible for you to achieve. So this is really the point, and this is what this Mars and Jupiter in Scorpio are doing with this beneficial aspect, this sextile that are having with all the planets in Capricorn. The planets in Capricorn, starting with the Sun and the Moon, I've told you several times in the videos that whenever we have a new moon, it means that the Sun, that is presence, energy, consciousness, is together with the Moon, that is representing our subconscious, our needs, our deep longings. So that means that you as a whole are there in Capricorn, working for setting up those plans, developing the structure, developing the day-by-day work, so working hard to achieve this, what you consider your success, no? And there we have also Mercury. It's very interesting because we've been having, in the whole December, we had Mercury retrograding, and until the 10th January, Mercury was not direct. That means that from the 5th to the 12th January, you may have been feeling things that were not okay with you, things that you really wanted to change, and still you were not having the clarity, the mental clarity to put into words what it was, what it feels, and how do you want to handle the situation. That was due to Mercury being retrograding. But the 3 coming weeks, we have Mercury there in this alignment, and you're going to be very clear, and especially with this contact that Mercury is having, this conjunction with Pluto in the coming until the 18th. So you still have 2 days to feel very clearly what this Pluto, this conjunction between Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, and together with Mercury, are making you see what is it that is really bothering you, that is really harming you, that you don't want to allow anymore in your life. So to really define a structure, define a method to cut it down, to get it away from your life, get rid of it. And to finish with, and not to get too long, because I'm getting too long, I want to speak a little bit about Uranus in Aries. It's been there for a long while, mostly the whole 2017 we had it there, and in that time it was mainly about doing the things the way we want. I personally want and see the things in one particular way, and I want to do it my way. I'm not going to take into account what others may feel, what others may think, but I'm going to go for it. On the one hand, that stays the same because Uranus is bringing surprises, opportunities, things that are unexpected. And because of this reason, this quadratura, these 90 degrees that this Uranus is doing with all the planets in Capricorn, are asking you to calm down, to contact with the energy of Athena, to stay focused, to keep cool, keep your wits, don't get nuts, and stay there calm so that you can take the situation and accord to your logic, strategic thinking. So use this armor, use the égida, use all this protection that Athena is having to keep the surprises that can get very emotional, especially because we also have Lilith in Saturn setting the limitations. So Lilith and Saturn are in a conjunction in Capricorn also. They are not contacting Uranus, but they are there. And I told you in other videos, Lilith is representing to us when we are envious from other women because they are able, or they have something that we would really like to have. So it's like the worst side of the feminine energy. But I invite you to do not put away this energy, do not avoid it. I really encourage you to read all this, what I'm talking about, in my book, because in there I have a complete chapter developing all this about Athena and how to work with Athena, how to identify your moon point, your Athena moon point. Every 2.5 days we have the moon changing point, and we as women, we feel it, and the intentions, the energy, what matters to us, everything changes from one day to another, every 2.5 days. And if you are not aware and not in contact with your own sequence, it can be really shocking to yourself or shocking to others how you are changing so much. And when we are meant to be as men, focused in one only thing and with that steady energy, we consider that we are somehow a mistake. And it's all the way around. We are goddesses. We have these 11 goddesses every 2.5 days. And it's your work as a conscious goddess to find out what your sequence is. And I encourage you to use the energy of this new moon, because it's going to feel very, very much like Athena, very much like the moon point that is in your thighs, so that then it makes it easy for you to identify every period, every moon cycle when you are in your Athena moon point. And this is going to empower you in your life beyond your expectations, because then you will be able to planify and understand deeply what is your energy helping you to do. And instead of being all the time swimming against the wave, you'll be surfing on the wave, and the energy of your own body, helped by the moon and the rest of the planets, is going to push you forward. And this is a bit what I intend to do with these little videos, to help you understand what to plant in that particular point. Because women, we are moon dwellers. We really work with the moon. And when you know what to plant in this particular new moon, so to synthesize it and to make it simple, I would give you like a mantra. I plan my work and I put into action my plan. You have to formulate it with your own words, because I'm not a native speaker. Sorry. The point is that when you keep this in focus, when you keep this in mind, and you are aware that this new moon is to start planning, start visioning and planning with detail. How are you going to work, and what is it what you are going to build? What structure is it that you're interested in building in the 3 coming years? Because Saturn is going to be 3 years there in Capricorn, building the structure. So this is the moment where we start to see what is what we want to plan. By the end of the month, with the full moon, you will be feeling completely either a slap on your face if you are not aligned with what is it meant to be for you as a soul that incarnated with a purpose. And then you will see clearly how to recalibrate it. And otherwise, if it really feels good when the full moon comes, with this what you've planned, then you know that this is it. And you'll be doing the work steadily for 3 years in Capricorn with this Saturn, so that this structure is going to support and hold you, so that you can go all around the energy of the rest of the planets in the horoscope in the coming 30 years, so that you can really achieve the goal of your soul. So this is not a little thing. And even if it was not real, no, when you're really like a scientific type and these things look to you a little bit weird, what if that was right? You have to work on every aspect of your life. Why not doing it systematically, following the moon? Why not using the energy of the planets? I really encourage you to read a little bit of Steiner and other people that are really developing amazing, or that have developed amazing works based on this astrologic energy, and use it even when you are the most practical being on earth. That's the case of Capricorn. Take that energy and make the most of it. Well, I hope it worked for you. I remind you the mantra: I planify my work and I do my job. No, I work on it steadily. It has to feel right. It has to feel aligned with your heart path, so that you build your structure. So Satnam, I hope it worked for you. I invite you to let me your comments down there in the YouTube channel. Thank you.